Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I had actually done a 2-minute video introducing myself and this channel and this reading, and then my mother started asking me questions from behind, so I'm starting over again. So what I had said before was we are all dealing with a global pandemic, so everyone is quarantined. For a very long time, I was unable to make these videos for you guys. Now that I think we're in such a state of confusion, it's brought me back to being able to read for you. Also, a lot of friends have recently been needing my advice, so I've been doing readings for other people, and it's kind of just brought me back to the fact that, for one, on my end, I feel like I can understand what's going on in the world a little bit better just by reading for some people. And also, like, for you guys, I think that on a platform like YouTube, I'm able to give you guys some possibly real needed advice, and it's completely free. So I would like to do that to give my part of some ease that I could, create for you. So I'm going to still shuffle your cards. I'm starting with you guys in Aries. This reading will be for the month of April. So right now, as I'm recording this is March 22nd, but this reading will be from April 1st until May 1st. I am going to shuffle the rest of the cards, but while I was doing your introduction the first time around, this card had jumped out, which is interesting. Only because, so this card is the first card that came out. This is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is all about rest. And what better thing to do in a time of quarantine when you're not able to leave your house than to catch up on that rest. I think for my personal feelings about it is that the world has been going through so many changes, and if we tend to look back, or only about 2 months ago, World War III was a very real possibility. And this past year, especially like cardinal signs, and cardinal meaning Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorns, have been dealing with a lot as far as how their life was progressing. So we've had a lot of changes within the last 2.5 years, and now it's almost like life is totally slowing down, and that the world is having a little bit of a reset. And I feel like right now everything is coming to that point of it was too overwhelming. So now it's stopping everyone. Like, nobody's traveling, nobody's moving. Everyone's kind of stuck in place. So we're all on the same page here. And it's bringing us back to some things that we didn't really work through. So with this card, I'm going to say that this is going to be the heart of the reading. I think right now, for Aries, for all cardinal signs, it's very hard not to go forward. But you're not meant to right now. So I think your focus at this point in time should be on self-care. I know for a lot of Aries, you guys are not introverted. Now, you very well could be. But the majority of you guys, because it is a masculine sign, they're a more extroverted sign. So saying, hey, you have to social distance and stay inside, and your only means of communication really should be through things like FaceTime, that's kind of hard for you guys. So I think this is going to really turn the focus in on you, and I don't want your mental health to decline at this time, because this is what is happening for a lot of people. But I think with this card coming out, we're saying, focus on yourself, focus on some skills that you really that you've wanted to work on for a while. Of course, you guys still probably have work that you have to do remotely, or school, or something of that matter. So yes, of course, focus on those things, but now that you have so much time and you're locked inside, use that opportunity to really work on yourself and to gain new skills, read new books, keep yourself on a more stable path, because 4 is the number of stability. And especially when it comes in terms of, your thoughts and your actions and how you speak to other people. I think you should also, with this Four of Swords, is saying kind of wait it out. If there's something that you feel like you're jumping to, like, talk to somebody else about, if it's somebody from your past, that's probably not the best time. Now, this is something that might have come up during retrograde as far as, like, emotionally. It could have been a dream. I feel like for a lot of you, it was, like, dreams of somebody from your past that you kind of need to work through. But right now, I think it's more focus on you and take a step back and focus on your own stability before you do anything else. So that was a very long intro and first card, but it is really important, and I think I need to make that known. Oh, they're throwing on the floor already. Someone, the cards want to speak. All right, we have the Ace of Cups, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So what I see for the Ace of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune coming out, the Ace of Cups is all about finding peace in oneself and also, like, having a rejuvenated either love or passion towards something. I feel like it deals mostly with healing. So having the Ace of Cups with the Four of Swords, I feel like you're processing a lot of things emotionally that you've been, like, working through by keeping yourself busy. And now that you're unable to keep yourself busy, that, you know, it's kind of overflowing with, like, urgency to your brain to be able to work through it. But now that you realize that these things really need to be done internally and not with other people, I think you're working through it in a better way than you would have before. I do think with the Wheel of Fortune, it has to deal with someone or a cycle that keeps repeating itself. This could be like a specific person in your life that keeps reappearing, but it doesn't have to be. It could also be like a situation that you constantly keep, like, putting yourself in. So let's just say, for instance, you spread yourself too thin and you kind of say yes to everything. But right now, like, that's not a time that you can do that, but you've had resentment towards other people that you felt like you needed to work through or let them know about. Now, instead of doing that, because I don't think it's the right time to talk to the other people about that, you will have that realization because it's something that keeps happening, and now that you have time with yourself, you're like, oh, okay, that's me. So you're going to have a lot of healing, but it's going to be stressful or painful because you realize that a lot of them are on your own part. Not that anyone else never has to do with it, because that's not true. Like, most people do add to the stresses of life. But I think what I mean here mostly is that you'll realize that it's something that you can change. And you can change it without having to really say something. Because sometimes I think we lie to ourselves and we say, like, oh, we need to say those things, and it's not true. We just need to deal with it for ourselves. So, pull in some more cards. I'm going to shuffle one more time. Okay. I have the Four of Cups, the Sun, the Ace of Swords, Ten of Cups, King of Swords, and the Chariot. Bottom of the deck, the Devil. Okay. So, for you guys, I'm going to say, I know before I said it could be a specific thing that you do, that you just happen to spread yourself too thin. But I will say with the other cards coming out, I really do feel like it has to deal with another person that's been in your life. It could be a friend that you've just had, like, a dynamic with that isn't, like, you feel very connected to this person, but maybe they don't always do the right thing by you. This could also be a past relationship. It's somebody that's been close to you, that you have a close connection with, that you've probably been friends with for a really long time, or, had romantic relationships with for a very long time. Possibly you've known them since childhood. I say that because of the Sun card. And I feel like there's a lot of truth that you didn't get out of the situation that you've just kind of had to sit with. And I think the first few weeks of April, the focus is really going to be on healing with all of that within yourself. And I feel like the Four of Cups, you're going to start to feel very bored, especially with things going on emotionally. It could be that this is a specific person that really made you, like, your heart flutter, and you felt so much through them. And now it's not really, like, they're giving you boredom, or other people just aren't exciting you, and you're not getting that same connection. And I think it's because you keep looking back at something with such nostalgia, when things were, like, easier and everything was just beautiful, and there wasn't a care in the world, like when you were a kid with the Sun card here. But I think that there is a truth that needs to be spoken. You might be holding something back from them. And it could be that you just never really, like, talked about it. Talked about your feelings. Because you guys aren't that great with that. Not for nothing. That was judgmental of me to say. So I'm very sorry. I do feel that way about a lot of Aries. I don't think they're very transparent often. And I think with the first week or two, I think it's really going to be you dealing with all of this internally. And I think coming into the third, fourth week, you're going to feel like there's something you really need to get off your chest, and you're going to speak that truth. Because you're not able to be happy with other people or other situations fully because you haven't forgiven this one. And you're not getting joy from these other relationships because you're, like, in a way, I think you guys like the chaos. Like, when I say that boredom card and the not reacting card for the first 2 fours that we have there, I could really just say that it's because there's no drama. And I know that you guys aren't drama-loving people. I'm not saying that. But with the Devil card on the bottom of the deck, the Devil is all about repeated patterns and feeling like bound to something. And it's like the inevitable. Like, oh, okay, we're gonna have this crazy fight, we're gonna break up, and then we're gonna get back together. And that's just kind of like what you're used to right now. But now maybe there was a period of that not happening for a while, and that could have been because you shut things down, or maybe they shut things down. But now, I think you're, like, feeling lulled by that not happening. And really, the reason why things aren't reapproaching is because you're not being fully honest with your feelings. They could not be too, but I do think that it has to do with your part with this Ace of Swords. So with the Ten of Cups and the King of Swords and the Chariot, this was the next 3 cards. I would say that we're heading into a peaceful time now. I think, unfortunately, many of you guys are going to be quarantined during your birthdays. Which, by the way, happy birthday, Aries. But I do think that towards the end of this period, through this month, we're looking at a more happy home life. You might have very positive reactions within your family, perhaps by, like, staying home and not being so busy with work. You're actually talking to them more often. This could also be that you settle things internally for yourself that is at the, heart of your reading in the beginning. And now you're, like, more at peace. But I think it's only because you become okay, especially with this King of Swords, it's like you become okay with dealing with somebody who's kind of cold. And just maybe doesn't really seem like they want to deal with anything that you have to tell them, but you got it off your chest. and now you're able to actually move forward. Now that you were able to give this off. I'm not saying that you're going to get the best reaction by telling this truth. But I will say that we're moving towards something that will allow growth and allow movement. You could also be this could be with a Cancer Sun, Moon, or Rising, because the Chariot card did come out. The bottom of the deck, I see the Capricorn card with the Devil. I'm not going to lie, I don't think it has to do with a Capricorn. I would say, if you asked my honest opinion, I would say it's related to either a Cancer, or it could possibly be an air sign, meaning, sorry, my brain just went like what? Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So it could be any of those 4 signs. It could be anyone, really. They could just have heavy water or air in their chart. Those are the cards that are really like popping out to me. So I think that all of us right now are dealing with a lot. And I feel like the heart of this is a reset, as I said earlier. So I think that you're going to get a chance to reset on your emotions and really get some burdens off your chest. And I think you're going to be able to get out of this cycle. Like, I know you felt very bound for a very long time. And I can tell that because this card being at the bottom of the deck is saying there's an importance to it. And it's not, it's not a terrible card, of course, but it's a card that really means like you feel very bound to it and unable to escape. But you have the full choices and availability to do those things. So, I think right now we're dealing with things internally because we're being placed in the home. But I think we're going to come out of this a lot more understanding of each other. So try to look at this as a positive opportunity for growth. Again, easier to say than do, but I am available for private readings if anyone so wants. You could just reach out to me. I'm going to leave my email behind. If anyone just wants to send me a message and ask a question, I'm more than willing to give my advice. Let me know how this reading went for you guys, and I hope to see you soon. Stay well. Bye.